Hey train friends, welcome back to the layout. Today we are doing layout update number 25. It has literally been 5 years since I've done a layout update. The last one was in January of 2018 and it was called The Bridges. And this one is called The Calm Before the Storm. And we're going to explain why today on PghTrainFanatic. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. It's about time for this layout update to happen right now. Alright, so here we are back at the main room of the layout. This is the Pittsburgh room. And before we talk about everything you saw in the intro with the lightning and thunder clouds, let me just say that the title of the video, The Calm Before the Storm, has two meanings. So of course the lightning and thunderstorms, but also the calm before the storm with the layout. And I'm planning to do a layout expansion, so I'm announcing that right now, and it's going to be upcoming in the near future, so stay tuned to the channel for that. It's going to be completely awesome. I have really cool plans for expanding the layout. Just when you thought that I was done and I expanded as far as I could, there's more. It's going to be really fun and exciting and a new chapter for my YouTube channel, so I can't wait to share it with you guys. Let's get the rest of this layout update started. I can't wait to talk about what's new on the layout. Alright guys, welcome to the main room of the layout with the new gigantic thunderstorm cloud. You can see there's LEDs and a whole cloud and almost the entire ceiling. And I've been working on this for a while. I started it way back in March of 2022 and I just have been procrastinating on getting a layout update done, so it is finally done. And actually I had this done in March, but it just took me a while to get to the layout update. And then over here above the city you can see there's some stars and galaxy being projected onto the ceiling with a star projector, and I thought that that added a nice little touch to this area since the clouds didn't go over there. These clouds are controlled with remote controls, so the LED colors can change, which is really cool. So you can see here there's many different colors I could choose. Right now I have it set on my personal favorite, which is the blue in the center and the purple around the outside. But if I wanted to change, say, the outside to red, I could go like that and change it to red, which is also a really cool effect. And it changes the whole mood in the room. And also you can set this so it's sensitive to sound. So I set up a sound system in the room so you can place thunderstorm sounds and the clouds will react to it as if there was lightning, which is really neat. So I'm just going to go ahead and switch this back to the purple setting because I kind of like the purple. But you can do the same thing with the inner color too, which is currently blue. And as you can see, it goes all the way down the room. I ended up painting this section right here black. I'm eventually going to put some pictures up there. So that's kind of still in the works. Here's some quick videos that I took when I was putting it all up. The paper was put on the ceiling with a couple different strands of LEDs to create different colors. The paper was put up so that the poly fiber could be glued directly to it. There's a 20-pound box of it I bought. It was so much. I started putting it up, and before you know it, here it was about halfway done, testing it out, and then the completed cloud turned out totally awesome. So to kind of go along with the night effects and the lighting, I added lights to my Pittsburgh incline. And if you're not familiar with what this is, in Pittsburgh there's actual inclines that go up to the top of the mountain Washington, and that's what this is modeled here. So you can see there's two incline cars and a couple HO scale tracks, and I have yet to make this operational. It's been something I've talked about ever since the inception of this layout, which started in 2009, if you're also wondering that. So hopefully by the next layout update, I will actually have that operating. I meant to do it before this update, and I kept putting it off, and I'm like, all right, we just need to do the update. I'm going to go ahead and put the lights up a little bit higher so we can talk about the rest of the things that were new to the to this update. Okay, we got the lights turned back on so we can see what's new in the room. Here's a nice panning shot of everything. We're going to start off in this far right-hand corner. And this is the first thing that's new, are my PTF Designs building flats. So I added them on the right-hand side of this little town area and also on the left there. So it's kind of, I did a forced perspective with these where there's like O scale down on the bottom there and then HO scale behind, making it appear farther away. These are actually a little bit thinner than I normally make them. Usually they're a 1/2 inch thick, and these ones are only a 1/4 inch. Reason I did that was because I wanted them to sit back from the edge of the wall a bit. But they turned out great. It gives a really nice appearance to this corner. Going along with the building flats theme, I updated this building flat back here. This building flat on the wall here was here before. I removed the board off the wall and put new prints on it with garage doors and LED lighting. I also added some height to it, and I added a cement loading dock at the bottom so the trains roll past there and you can simulate dropping off and loading at that location. So it's pretty cool and a nice welcome addition to the layout. Alright, and then coming along here, I don't usually talk about engines and rolling stock for my layout updates, but since they're sitting here, it's a new Visionline Challenger, the clinch field that I got recently. I haven't done like a actual video review of it yet. There's the Visionline Pensy Class A. I did a review on that just a couple days ago from this video, so if you missed that, I'll put the link in the video description or above. You can go to it now. This Pennsylvania crane is new. It's a Rail King. I'm planning on weathering it so that it's sitting here next to the engine shed and the weathered Dash 8 narrow nose. Behind this building, you'll see the Menards American Materials building. That is new to the layout. Last year I bought that on my birthday, and there it is on the layout, and I just put these loads of, or piles of materials there, a couple different ones to just kind of simulate that they're working on loading train cars with that material there. And then here we are at my blast furnace scene. This thing is awesome just as much as the day that I built it. It was all scratch built, but I made some additions to this area that really kind of helped the look. That dark brownish gray building in the back there, you can see that I put LED lights on it. Also, there's flickering orange glowing lights in the steel logo there. You can sort of see it. It's really cool. And then to the left of that, back on the wall, is one of my PTF Designs building flats. That is the blast furnace with all the lighting on that one as well. And it just creates a really nice look. Gives you the appearance of two furnaces in this area. Here's a better look with the lights dimmed down. You can see the LED lighting on the back building there. And then the blast furnace, you can see there is flickering lights behind it, giving it a glow behind the building. It's really cool. And then moving along to the left, I decided to put this big tree right here. It's not really permanent. It was from the old Horseshoe curve. It was one of the trees that were in that area. And I thought it looked pretty good right there. Just kind of adds something to that area of the layout. And here we go with the bridge scene and the rivers, which nothing's changed here. But let me tell you, this I love this bridge. And then the bridge behind it was all scratch built. I did that one. So this area, I did a live show in the past, and I installed a new switch here. This is a new 072 switch. This leads over to the switch that goes towards the Heinz plant through that tunnel into my coal mine, or straight there, which goes around the entryway there to my little yard area. So it's nice to have a more prototypical switch there with the 072. I can get cars in and out of there a little bit easier. I was having some problems with that area, so when I did that, I removed the old Lionel crossing area, and I built this new one, and this has the Z stuff signals on it, and it turned out really great, the road and all the details around it, but these signals are fidgety, and part of the problem was I accidentally broke this one, so this one has been giving me problems. You can see that there's sensors on them, so this one I kind of have to give it a little push sometimes to get it to work properly, but I don't know, I'm still fidgeting around with it to get it to work right. And then Cousin Eddie is new. I just did this for Christmas 2022. This is the green light die-cast car, and what I did was I added LED lighting to it. So I put headlights in it. I put a green LED glowing underneath with a little smoke coming out. Then we got the Cousin Eddie figure that I detailed with the hat with the flaps and his cigar hanging out of his mouth. Gave him his white robe. And then if you come along to the back side here, I did put some red LEDs in the taillights. And the cool thing about this all is, I'm not going to show you right now, but I made a quick disconnect on this car, so I can lift it up off the layout and disconnect the wiring in like a second. So if I decide, if it's like the middle of the year and I don't want that there, I can remove it. Or if I'm trying to get a shot of like a train coming by here, I could remove it and it wouldn't be in my shot. So it's kind of a clever idea that I came up with to put that right there. I just thought it was a fun spot for Cousin Eddie. And speaking of movie cars, there's the Batmobile, and we got Batman hanging out up on the roof. And in the back right now, it's turned off, is the Trippy Trolley that I reviewed on the channel. Here, we'll get it turned on. That thing is so cool. So let's go over and see what's new in the Horseshoe Curve room. Before I head over that way, here is the train yard. Nothing has changed in the train yard yet, but I almost forgot that I added a shelf under the train yard for all of my passenger cars. This was much needed, and I stuck a light in there so I could have some lighting in there when I go to grab stuff. So this is like all of my Pensy fleet is down there, and me and Pensy guys, I'm using that the most. So it's right there underneath the layout and easily accessible. Alright, so here we are entering the Horseshoe Curve room, and this is the town of Gallitzin, and Tunnel Hills Park got a bit of an upgrade. I made a new sign that says Tunnels Park and Museum, Gallitzin, PA, a new fence, and a new flagpole. So looks pretty cool when the trains come by here now. And then up on the hill, the Horseshoe Curve beer billboard is new. And actually I make those on my website, so if you're interested in purchasing one on PghTrainFanatic.com, I sell those. And then not much has changed over in this area, but the big change is over in the corner here by the coal mine scene. And I made a thundercloud, and I did that with the Broadway Limited Lightning and Thunder kit. So you can see I bought cloud material and I put it on the walls, and then I did some painting here to make it look like there's a dark thunderstorm cloud off in a distance. Even painted some lightning strikes coming down out of the clouds there. And it's all activated underneath the layout by a button, and a subwoofer is under there. So the cool thing with this system is you can set it up so it goes on a loop, and like every 2 minutes or so a thunderstorm will start to roll in like it's about to do now, and all the LEDs and everything starts flashing with the sound of the thunderstorm. Looks better when you dim the lights down. I actually added extra LEDs to this kit. It just came with white ones, and I added some blue to give it a different effect. So that's pretty cool. So it turned out awesome. Very happy with it. Over here by the UFOs and the aliens, there's one new feature. The guy climbing up the tree right there. Looks like he's getting ready to chop down that big lodgepole pine. So he's a new figure for the layout. There's a good look at the aliens. Alright, and then we're walking back into the Horseshoe Curve now. And there has been some changes back here. Oh, probably over a year ago, there was taller trees in this area. There was one there and one where that tree is at, and I swapped them out for these two trees. They're a bit shorter and a little bit more realistic looking. We still got our bald eagle there, so that was important. I also added the sign that says "Welcome to the famous Horseshoe Curve." It's a National Historic Landmark. So that was a new addition. And then moving over to the right is the lumberjacks up on the hill. The barn, nothing's changed there, but below the lumberjacks, I added this new pine tree right here. And then last but not least is the Hobo Village. I got the Lionel new Hobo Sounds boxcar sitting there, and you can hear that playing. So the Hobo Village got a bit of an update. The Lionel water tower, my daughter Lily actually did this. She did a great job of putting in some epoxy and made the water shiny in there. It was just like a dull color of blue before, and she did a really great job of carefully, like, she used a paintbrush and painted it around the figures because it wasn't deep enough to flood it, so she did a great job. It turned out really good. Then of course we have the hobos down here. I have the smoke unit on. You can see the smoke coming up from the fire there. It's kind of tough to see right now. There it is. So right next to that is a new scene. This is like a little moonshiner scene. Got a new little moonshiner shack with a LED on it, and I added a little bit of green moss onto the roof. You got a figure there with his shotgun. Another guy holding his moonshine. Then you got the moonshine still behind it. Some funky colored plants growing around there. And then you have a couple barrels, and I put some of the epoxy into there, and we made it look like it's filled with some gnarly colored stuff. It's like a blue color. So my daughter Lily helped me out with that as well. Turned out awesome. We added this new tree right here. So this scene just turned out great. We're really happy with it, and thinking about adding something else to it right in this area here where those rocks are sitting. So, oh, there goes the smoke. Now it's smoking good. Sometimes it needs a second to warm up. Awesome. Well, I hope you enjoyed this layout update. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about it. And thanks as always, we'll see you next time.